Hello everyone, I'm Zinat Firdaus. I have Dr. Sukant Khurana with me. He is a well-known entrepreneur, mentor, public speaker and a scientist. Welcome sir.
Thank you, Zina, for having me here.
So I'd like to ask you one question. How can social media be used for professional development?
That's excellent. I mean, social media is the equivalent of almost your real life, and with work from home being so important, and with so much information being out there, getting your message out, getting your application out, social media is very important. You can't just rely on emails and all in this day and age. So, to get things right for you, if you have a funny dark side or whatever side that you don't want to reveal on social media, create a parallel account for it. Create one account which shows your professional image along with whatever family thing you have. So, whatever is your professional image, make it with the right photographs. Be consistent in your messaging, whatever be the message, right? Always be consistent. Display your interests, display your achievements, your resume, connect with the right people. They may be juniors, they may be seniors, they may be colleagues. Be engaged in polite discussions if that's you're looking for engagement, right? Be involved in as many online groups which will promote. Don't just join things where you're not going to be active, right? Join to be active, join to interact. Start things on your own, let's say Facebook groups, um, and you use the social media if you're um, anywhere. Let's say if you say you're working for a certain company, at some level you're reflecting your employer. If your profile says you're working for somebody, uh, if there is any mention of any employer, you reflect the employer and make sure that nothing gets posted on your profile which reflects badly on the employer, because then it's a recipe for you getting the rough end of the stick. Right? So it's very, very important to make sure the messaging is in sync. And you could have two different personalities by having two different accounts if you really want to keep the two things separate. But this is a way of basically reflecting your professional conduct. So when you say something, keep in mind, even if you say that your views don't reflect employer, if you're mentioning who your employer is, uh, then by and large stick to the principles of that. So social media can be used very effectively. In certain places, I do see a lot of anger. Globally, anger is on rise in politics everywhere. It is true for far left, it's true for far right. In fact, I'll even give you examples of my own politics. I am very anti-authoritarian. Authoritarian can be both on the left and the right end of the spectrum. I'm against authoritarian things. I'm all for open societies. There is a reason I like US, UK, New Zealand, a lot of European, Western European societies a lot. It's not for standard of living. I'm intentionally staying in India for my personal choices, which are family driven. But there is a respect for certain value system. That said, when I was in US, I actually had somebody from India, from Bengal, who was for very pro-authoritarian leftist things, and we had initially interesting discussion on economics, and he really got annoyed with some political organization he was building, and because of my arguments, he thought that he failed to build it, that he hacked my account when I was at Coachman, posted nasty stuff, right? I've seen people in India, because now obviously I'm a lot more cautious, even on the far right end of spectrum, where they're posting things. And even in real life, like I'm in real life, I've seen people from all sorts of extremist views. In US, I have people where I saw far right wing racist views about people of color. I had Muslim batchmates, or actually 1 year senior to me, who had very negative opinion of Jews. And one Jew thought um, Most of people I worked with were Jewish scientists. One of my closest friends were Jews. But one guy thought I'm Muslim and he was being very racist against me, and I didn't tell him I'm not. I could have told him that, look, I was born in a Hindu family and I'm some soft corner for Christianity, but I'm not religious. But I decided that'll be catering to his biases, and I said, okay, that's your opinion, you're dumb, right? But so in real life also there is a lot of hatred on far right, far left, and manifest in form of social media, including in scientists, right? Scientists are at end of the day humans and manifest in form of lawyers, doctors, engineers. In fact, if you look at the worst acts of terrorism, such as what Bin Laden did on 9/11, they were done by techies, right? Just because somebody has technical education doesn't necessarily mean they come from liberal values. So logically, a lot of that actually gets amplified on social media. This is something youngsters should be aware of. A, if somebody who they know is doing it, stay away from them, stay clear of them, and at least not do it, whatever your views are, because your employers, your colleagues are looking at those. I'll even tell you my example. I mean, I'm now in a very privileged position that um, at times my intervention can actually make or break people's careers. And I was obviously at the other end of thing 5, 10 years ago, right? It's a function of rising up and also getting old. That I've refused, like I could have easily helped somebody with real estate things, and I saw somebody have very strong views against Christian minorities in India, very fanatic views, and he approached me. I didn't tell him why I disconnected with him on Facebook, but I saw him post a lot of nasty stuff where he really wanted them to die. And instead of me telling him that, he's an idiot, I just quietly unfriended him on Facebook, right? So if you have extreme views, ideally you should not have them. And if you have them, at least be smart enough not to tell us, right? And politics of hate doesn't take you anywhere, but I think there is an increasing trend of people posting very extreme stuff on social media. That's not helpful for their professional growth. Um, People can also post some off-color things which can put off. So make sure whatever has your full name, you're identifiable by your employers, you're identifiable by your peers. Behave on social media as you would behave in your personal life, right? Think if you're basically going to your office and you're about to enter the room of your boss or the head of the company, not just your immediate boss, how would you behave, right? Behave in that professional way. And if you do so, social media is an excellent place to showcase your skills, your talents, your achievements, your interaction, your curiosity. It's a way of almost meeting people from any part of the world. Let's say if you're working on AI, you can have a brainstorming session while sitting in Sri Lanka with somebody who's sitting in Japan, right? And at the same time, you're collaborating with somebody in the US or Canada. Social media is a massive force for social good if it is used smartly, and it can be a massive force for destruction if it is used in a destructive way. So it's up to you what you make of it. It's a tool. Just like nuclear energy is a tool, you can make nuclear power plants or you could be dropping bombs, right? So social media carries a lot of force. Use it smartly, and you will see enhancement in your career.
Thank you, sir. That was very helpful. Anyone who is interested in free training at Ioncure can apply at volunteer@ioncurerx.com. Thank you.
Thank you.